All right, people. So I want to talk about an issue here, the transgender issue. And this was pretty disturbing, in my opinion. Pretty fucking disturbing. So you had Nat Geo, obviously a prominent uh, magazine, an organization, a TV station, coming out with their magazine and putting on the cover a 9-year-old transgender. I guess he was born a dude, but then he's a girl now. Okay, I'm still, the whole transgender thing just confused. I mean, you can't tell me with a straight face that everybody who's a transgender, that there's not, a good amount of transgender people who just do it because, it's kind of a popular, it's like the new trendy thing now, to fucking change your gender and, become a guy or become a girl. Like, oh, you could just choose that now. Like, it's very weird to me, and I could never imagine myself like wanting to be a girl. Like it's just very weird to me. And the media pushes this, pushes, and all you hear about is transgender, transgender. You hear a lot about it, and I think that the minds of young people who may be 16, 17, 18, years old, young adults hear all this. Oh, transgender, and they hear it all, and I believe that there's, I mean, this leads to a rise in people becoming transgender. So I think there's a lot of people being swayed and being influenced by the media and, websites and the internet to become transgender. I mean, you can't tell me that every fucking person who becomes transgender does not have, possibly mental issues, and like I said, are possibly swayed by media and just the news they hear. And like I said, it's like, oh, it's trendy to be, I mean, it really is. If you look at it, like, if somebody changes their gender, they're hailed and they're said, oh, they have courage. Like Bruce Jenner got the Courage Award. Oh my God, he got the Courage Award over somebody who has cancer and played sports on. I remember that on ESPN. It's hail. Oh, you're so courageous if you're transgender. Oh yeah. And I'm just so sick of hearing all of, oh, gender, talk about it with somebody, talk about, if you're having questions about your gender. I mean, it's not really that. People, again, they make, there's like fucking 60 Facebook genders now. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. But then we talk about, this is a whole nother aspect of it when you're talking about 9-year-old children being transgendered. First off, if you're 9 years old, you shouldn't even know. I mean, if you're a guy, obviously, you kind of know what a penis is, and you know what genitalia your own. But I mean, you shouldn't be knowing what like a vagina is. I mean, it's just you don't know what that you don't have sexual attraction yet to the other gender. When you're that young, you don't have attraction to girls yet. So for a 9-year-old to be a transgender, I mean, that is the parents of the parents of that child ought to be in jail. I mean, that is so ridiculous that they're. It's obviously not the child who is choosing to be transgender. I mean, you fuck that. The child is not choosing to be transgender because the child is. Children should not even be introduced to the topic of transgenderism at that young age. Again, the minds are very vulnerable to messages, and they can be influenced easily. So obviously the parents here are to blame for this thing. And like I said, when I was 9, I did not know what transgender is, and like I think a big rise, a big there's so many people wanting to be transgender now or calling themselves that again because it's being pushed in the media as a thing. Now you hear all about pansexual, bisexual, asexual, demisexual, all these fucking words about your genders, and there's millions of them. Not millions, but there's a lot of them. And the only reason people are identifying as these things is because these words are pushed by media groups and news organizations and shit. So the fact that a kid now is identifying as transgender is just sick in my opinion. I mean, just fucking sick that the parents are actually brainwashing this child. I mean, it's sad too. It's very sad. It's sad that it actually happened, but once it happened, it should be fucking. Everybody should say shame on you, parents. shame on you. But instead, in our fucked up world, we have Nat Geo praising it, praising, oh, it's a great thing. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Fuck that. You cannot tell me that at 9 years old, a kid says that he wants to become a girl. When I was that age, I thought girls are, stupid and dumb, and girls are gross. You cannot tell me that at that age that a girl, that a guy, again, you don't even know what the fuck, sex is, or boobs are, or vagina is, or anything like that. Because you haven't hit puberty yet. You don't have sexual attraction yet. So it's disgusting in my opinion. And it just shows how much our world is fucked. Any time that people hear, oh, transgender, you have to be accepting and you can't question it, you can't say it's weird. I think it's weird. I really do. I think I'm all for it. I'm a libertarian. I'm all for living your life. I don't think sex changes should be banned. I mean, if people want to get one, then get one, but not at 9 years old. I mean, that you have to have consent. You should be 18. So, but yeah, I'm all for freedom and shit like that. But I have my freedom too, so I could question the sanity of people getting a sex change. I mean, I really think a lot of the people who get this aren't mentally there. And that's very logical with all these. Like I said, the power of the media is huge. They have a big power, a big influence to influence people to do certain things that they wouldn't do otherwise. I mean, you can't. Let's say there was no coverage of transgender issues in the media. There was no pushing of that agenda in the media. Do you think the same number of people would be transgendered? No, they wouldn't, because they're influenced. And if I say that, if I just question the issue, if I say anything bad about transgender, the surgery or whatever the hell, oh, I'm misogynist, whatever the fuck word, discriminatory, whatever, you can't even have a discussion about the issue, because if you do, the other side is just going to label you discriminatory, or call you one of their words that they made up, like misogynistic or whatever the fuck. So I mean, this issue is getting out of hand, though. I mean, it's ridiculous that a 9-year-old kid actually is transgendered, when obviously that kid does not even, a kid that age should not know about puberty, or not know about like sex or girls' private parts. I mean, it's very disgusting, and in my opinion, the parents are they're fucking idiots for doing this. I mean, like I said, it's sad, it's disgusting, and it's sad that that a beautiful child like this, a young innocent child, has been brainwashed by whoever's taking care of them. Because, like I said, this child does not make a decision on its own. I mean, maybe he was influenced by, maybe he's watching a show on MTV about people being transgendered, and I want to be a girl now. So there's a lot of influence. People's minds are very vulnerable at a young age, and even into young adulthood, very vulnerable. And the media has a big influence on people. That's all I gotta say about it. And this is just sick. It's very sick to see this happening, and to see our country go down this road. So, just for my personal beliefs, I mean, I really think that it's weird how a guy just wants to become a girl like that. I mean, just because you have some interests that not a lot of guys have, or you like to do things that mainly girls like to do. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to fucking change your fucking gender. I mean, we all have different issues. I mean, just because you're not manly in some aspects of life or whatever, you don't act like a guy. I mean, it doesn't mean, we all have different interests. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to fucking wear a fucking wig and chop your dick off and get, hormones and I mean, it's ridiculous. But I mean, I really believe the media is complicit in the rise of transgenderism, and I don't think it's a good thing, really. I mean, it's pretty obvious that they're pushing the issue right now and influencing a lot of people. And I think a lot of the people, again, who decide to change their gender are influenced and aren't in their right minds and aren't thinking properly when they get this surgery done. So that's all I got to say about it, people. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that, I mean, I'm all for free. Again, I'm not against, transgender. I don't hate them. I don't think that it should be illegal to be transgendered. They should be, treated equally like everybody else. But I'm just questioning the sanity behind it, or, the motivation behind it. Are these people in their right minds? Are they being influenced by outside interference when they get this surgery done or when they make this decision? So what do you think? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Let me know. So, but it's hard to argue about this 9-year-old being transgendered. I mean, this is just disgusting. So there you go, people.